My name's Leanne Kemp and I'm the founder and CEO of Everledger and proudly the Premier Appoint as Queensland's entrepreneur. My background since the mid-90s has been working in technology, and most of it being emerging technology. So commercialising R&D. I've worked in RFID, radio frequency identification. I was involved very early in the ad tech space. I've explored and flirted with all sorts of technologies, and my more recent endeavour was to think about blockchain. In as early as 2010, I bought Bitcoin, and in 2013 decided to work with the technology and built Everledger from 2015 forward. So I guess to say now I'm a sort of a veteran in the space and have toyed with many different types of technologies. My key messages are few, actually. There are a few to think about. Firstly, we have an incredible opportunity that sits right within our doorstep to think about what the future of our state means. Queensland, of course, gave birth to the smart state 10 years ago. But when we sit and understand where we've got a convergence of all these technologies coming together now that will provide exponential power, now whether that be robotics and AI combining to of course make disability and home services more affordable and of course more accessible to those in need, or whether that be manufacturing as an industry that enables us to have autonomous production lines. The change in our workforce is upon us, and we have to think about how we can combine these technologies and our skill sets and really start to think about what this means for the next generation of work. Now, I'm not talking about just millennials coming out of school and thinking about what type of career choices they make, but also those that have been in careers for 10 and 20 and 30 years that might have an incredible industry knowledge. How do we combine and to advance those skill sets is really, really, really important. And the second thing I think we think about, startups. We're not a mythical creature that exists on this incredible planet that David Attenborough should be commenting over the top of. The reality is that a successful entrepreneur that combines innovative thought and technologies together, and even business models, really should start thinking about the purpose upon which they're applying their technology, skills and blood, sweat and tears. So purpose-driven innovation is very important, and I don't necessarily want to confuse that with social innovation or just not-for-profit status work. It's really about saying, is the problem that we're solving sufficiently large enough that it affects not only a problem of today, but creates something better and a change step for tomorrow. So this is very important. It's very clear that we have an incredibly intuitive government that understands the importance of innovation, and of course the Chief Office was created 2-3 years ago now. So the foundation is here. We have already infrastructure in place for startups, and the question for me is, who's going to be brave enough out of Queensland to take a hop on a Qantas flight and then stretch themselves out into global markets? Because the reality is we have this connective tissue, we have networks that are established, and there's something incredibly robust when we have Queenslanders fighting their way out of the borders of Australia and starting to show the world what we're really capable of.